While our heroes prepare to battle the imminent threat of a blight in Ferelden, they find out there's another plague that has taken hold in Red Cliff: the undead. On the way to Red Cliff, the party stopped at an old trading post, finding it abandoned and looted of everything valuable. Desperate for answers, Lucius had asked Morrigan to use her spirit magic to aid him. It revealed that a revenant was let loose on the area, slaughtering everything in its path. With this grim news in mind, our heroes push forward to Red Cliff, hoping to find help and to warn the Arl of the trouble at his gates.
What happened? We left the wonderful hut of Flemeth and made our way towards the town of Lothering on behest of Morrigan. That turned out to be a wonderfully terrible idea, as we learned Terrain Logain MacTier had basically carte blanche framed all wardens for his betrayal at Ostergam, which is just lovely. Thankfully, one of the Templar captains was a man of solid mind and decided to just ignore us because he didn't want to lose any men and we didn't really want to kill anyone either. So we got some supplies, slept a night in a greenhouse, which, well, obviously there was some peasants stupid enough to try to attack us, but they failed on virtue of being absolute spineless cowards. Afterwards, we left Lothering and, after some internal discussion, decided we would visit the city of Redcliffe first, where, first and foremost, another Grey Warden has made his camp, and second, the Earl of Redcliffe holds considerable sway with the local courts and politics of Ferelden. On our way there, we mostly found people running away from Redcliffe, and this was easily explained by the fact that, to the best of our knowledge, the surrounding lands of Redcliffes were plagued by a powerful undead known as a revenant. This revenant, apparently, has been going around and basically executing everyone it can find so it could add to its armed forces. Also, I suppose there was an old man by the name of Lucius who lost his beloved apprentices or something like that. Nobody really cares. Moving on, though, we decided that afterwards we would continue our way towards Redcliffe, because clearly, if anyone can deal with a revenant, it would be the militia of Redcliffe and its powerful knights. And I'm still putting 10 gold pieces on the fact that the revenant most certainly is coming from Redcliffe because of dramatic tension. There you go. Short recap.
All right, then. Who's got this week's write-up?
Nick, why don't you do it?
Yeah, someone had to take Nick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's the only one who hasn't gone yet.
Yep.
Somebody ask if this is 40K.
Fucking wish it was.
It's a little low tech for 40K.
40k, man. There'd be no heresy.
We're just on a feudal world. That's all it is.
Blood for the blood god.
I love
We
it.
haven't made
2
it
minutes.
to space
I
yet.
kill Nicola. She's dead.
Wow.
Okay.
Eldar.
Fucking Eldar scum.
Listen, if there's one thing we can all agree upon that we hate, it's either Erebus.
The Tau.
Tau and Eldar.
It's either Erebus or the Tau. That's the two things that
Fuck the Tau.
you just hate.
Theo would be a Tau.
Excellent.
Oh, someone's commenting on the character portraits. That's why. Yeah, we got character portraits. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now,
Thanks to
somebody go
Artemis.
plug Artemis's Twitter. Somebody plug that.
I'll plug you.
Oh.
Oh,
There is an empty building just over there.
Cease and
Well,
desist.
I've said this before and I will say it again. You are in a relationship. I don't encourage cheating.
Now then. We are right where we were when we were visiting the little trade stand outside of Redcliffe that was razed and destroyed. Lucius is still recovering from being forced to watch the last moments of his employee before she was set on fire by the monsters that attacked the area. Morrigan doesn't seem to be too bothered by it. Begin.
Right. Moving on with life. Let's get to Redcliffe and see if it's as fucked as this place is.
Yeah.
We're going to Redcliffe then.
Yes.
All right, everyone's hopping up on the carts, and away we go.
As a refresher, we do take the bodies of the apprentices so that they can get proper burials.
Just those two?
We don't have enough space for all of them.
They're the
Favoritism,
priority.
then.
Yes.
Of course, favoritism. Why
Favorite.
the fuck would I care about any random people?
These human burial cultures are all strange to you anyway, since you're a dwarf.
They're supposed to be put into giant stone sarcophagi, not burned, but to each their own. They're wrong cultures, they're inferior cultures.
They're allowed to be wrong. They're just backwards.
Exactly.
We're traveling
Best way
for
I
not
can think to.
long. Only about an hour or so to get to Redcliffe. And as we are approaching it, everyone who has a society, plus Lucian, since you used to live here, go ahead and roll it.
Let's see if I remember this particular hovel of dirt on the surface road. Nope. I do not care about the surface culture. It is inferior. Theo, though, seems
Lucian.
to care a lot.
Oh. Dressed off. As you guys are rolling up, you notice that this is a rather large city within Ferelden, which generally would mean there's some kind of guard presence here watching people going in and out of the gates. The gates are just open with no one watching them. Dressed off is certain because humans are cowardly and don't believe in protecting anything. Theo and Lucius are realizing that this is just not the way it's supposed to be.
I'm going to give a quick glance to Lucius because he seems to be the only other person within the group that has his head turned down. And I'm just going to be like,
What?
Are you
This
also think
this is off.
Yeah. You want me to scout ahead?
I can't argue. You're really good at it, but be careful because this is. If Redcliffe just happened to have the same fate that my little trading post did, I'm not going to handle it well.
Cool. Inform everyone then, please, Lucius. And Theo is going to go and scout ahead.
Theo advances on his own, being nice and cautious. Even though there are no guards posted, you know how an area like this would generally be defended. You know the weaknesses of it from having studied them yourself and built them for a long time. You move through the shadows and through the watch areas where they would be watching you if they were here. It's all muscle memory to you at this point. You reach the gates, which are not closed, and you peek inside. And inside you do see people that are still alive in here. They don't appear to be acting unusual. You don't see skeletons or anything strange like that. It seems like somehow they magically just forgot to watch the front door, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you.
Having a quick look around, does there seem to be anything that they're guarding? Because it doesn't seem right that just the basic areas are not guarded. Like, obviously they seem to be going around. Like, how's their body language? Do they seem like defeated? Do they seem invigorated? Like, what's the body?
That's a perception check.
Cool.
You post up behind the gates and you stay out of sight. As you watch the millings about town, You see that there are a great deal of houses here. This place looks like it would have been very well populated, but you see almost no one outside. Those that are, you see a lot of facial expressions of fear, of anxiety, of hopelessness. People here don't look happy, and it looks like a ghost town, but there are a few people still here.
In the body language, are they kind of? Does it look like they've not defeated, but do they look like they're tired, or do they look normal? Because again, I just imagine with everything that's going on, if they had heard anything about this, people maybe on point, people kind of looking over their shoulders, stuff like that. How do they kind of like, are people always staying in groups, or are they kind of like not trust? Are they sing on themselves?
The body language you see is clearly fear. Something is going on here that is ruining these people's lives. But their movement is very slow. They're almost kind of just ambling about like they've got nothing really on their mind. These people look like they are ready to die.
Cool. Okay. I think I've gained as much as I can get. I'm going to also sneak back to Lucius and the group. And right, okay, guys. So these people, I think something's happened to Redcliffe. For such a populated area or city, there's not many people there. The general populace seems to fear something. Seems like they're checking over their shoulders. They're on edge. They look a bit sketchy. I don't know if what's happened at your village, Lucius, has travelled to here and people are on edge, or maybe they've been attacked and able to fend it off. But yeah, something's not right here.
Oh, well,
Well,
okay.
I put solid money on it. Just take a look
Well,
at them.
So I would say when we go here, maybe when we go here, let's with caution watch what we say. These people are on edge. They might react at the slightest of things. We don't know what they're going through at the moment. So let's
Okay.
just I suggest you lead the way because people might know you. We don't. I didn't see anyone that stood out like a warden. In fact, did I with that 26 fee? Would I have saw anyone? Or because I wasn't looking for that, I wouldn't really know.
No, you were just posted up at the gate looking inside, so you were only able to see down that one street.
Cool. Okay. I didn't see anyone looking to be like a warden or anything like that. So I don't know if it's better to let Lucius lead the group. People might know his face, put them at ease, and then we can also go in there and start asking around what's happened. But something's definitely happened here at Redcliffe.
I wasn't too much of a bad guy to the rest of the commoners, but it was a couple of the nobles who didn't like me too much. But yeah, long history passed, and we should just keep going. We were here to find another Grey Ward, and that's probably what we need to do first. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't see any other Grey Ward. I had a look down the street. Didn't see the town square or anything like that. So it could be posted up somewhere on the inn or anything. I don't know where it might be.
Well, the easy way is just to ask somebody if they know this guy.
Do you know his name?
Eric, a quick question. Do I know his name?
You were not given
Yeah. Sorry. Duncan was real hush-hush about the entire affair. Apparently something about him being sleeper acid is the wrong word. He just didn't want anyone to know, but if something happened, we were supposed to come here and find him.
Okay. So, yeah.
So we're supposed to find somebody that is a secret Grey Warden without knowing their name? That sounds great.
Well, let's just go in and we'll figure it out as we go. But we need to get in there and get information.
Yeah, if everyone's okay with it, I'll be able to get the information that we need. I'm usually pretty okay at that.
I have no problems with you taking the lead on information gathering. You're a talker.
You all ready to enter the town?
Yes.
Okay, I will transition the map. You guys will be on the south end of the map if you don't see yourself.
Yeah, see you. I see you. Oh, it's a nice wee town. I like it.
As Theo had stated, we'll go over what we see. This place, it looks like it should have been very densely populated. Redcliffe is built around a natural mountain range. So although the map is clearly flat, it is going downhill as you go deeper into the town, and it will end almost on a river line. Across that river, over a natural land bridge, is the castle of Redcliffe, which is too far away to clearly see a lot of detail on, but it is impressive looking for not being the Deneran capital. As Theo had stated, this place doesn't have a lot of people in it. There are some clearly armed guards trying to keep order, but they look as stressed out as the civilians. The civilian population look demoralized and terrified. They're kind of just ambling about as if it looks like every one of them, their dog just died and they can't keep a focus on what they're supposed to do. And the gates are open and unguarded.
Cool. I will just follow behind Lucius.
Lucius, this looks very ominous to you. Last time you were here, there were thousands of people here. Now there's barely a few dozen.
I don't like this.
I love this song for this. It's very tense.
Okay.
Okay.
Just quick protocol check. Don't mention the G word, that we are Gs.
Well, we're going to have
Don't mention it.
we're going to have
Gee,
to because
unit.
we're looking for one.
We could just say that we are looking for one, but worst case, you can bullshit that we're working for Logain. You're good at that, aren't you?
I mean,
well, we should first make sure we understand where
Fair.
priorities and loyalties are around here. So let's figure that out before we start claiming that we are with a faction that's not our own or even our faction.
Hey,
Yeah, that's fair.
hey, Lucius. When we get in, can you try and find to see if there's anyone maybe that you recognise and get that? You could maybe get that information that way. Because obviously you knew people here, so maybe if there's anyone that you don't recognise when you get in, you can kind of get that information.
I mean, my mom was lived at the keep, so maybe she's still alive, and if someone could find her, if she hasn't, oh gods.
Tell you what, I'll leave the talky bits to you. If you need anything broken or the like, just talk to me. Otherwise, I'll see if I can't, figure out if there's any traces of the Revenant around this place. Because I don't think I do well talking to distressed people.
if you can introduce me, Lucius, then I'll be able to take that from there. Avalon, sorry, you're going to say something.
Yeah.
I actually look towards Nicola and Morgan and I say, I assume the best course for the three of us is probably to keep our heads low. Between two elves and you, Morgan.
Wow. Real smooth, Evelyn.
You can tell you guys can tell as Evelyn stops, she's trying to find the right words to say like sorceress without saying the word sorceress and just fails abysmally.
You could just call her a person. She is one, last I checked.
The person part isn't the problem.
It's it's what we do. But
yes,
I agree, Evelyn. We should keep our head low and just stick about.
And then I also followed that by saying, I'm also going to make sure I stay close to you this time, Morgan, because we don't need a repeat of the last town.
Morrigan's odd yellow eyes are particularly bright as she looks up and down the town. She has an unusual look on her face. But as you were speaking to her, she suddenly snaps to attention. shakes it off and starts waiting to be told what to do.
What was with that face? Morrigan.
She has to make a skill check. Does she understand it? She rolls a 4. She still looks confused. There's something on her mind, but she can't make out what it is. You can see a confusion of recognition, but also something's on the tip of her tongue and she can't bring it out.
That's all right. Just stick about. Just stick about, and we'll be fine.
I'm gonna cast detect magic as well. I have kind of an assumption on what she did, so I'm gonna try and, as subtly as I can, just do a quick detect magic to see if there's like magic in the air or something.
There is a bit of magic in the air, but not what you'd expect to find. You sense that there might be some minor magical objects here, maybe some very low-level spells, but you're not walking into an illusion or anything ridiculous like that.
So can I use my detect spell then if there's like low level spells? I've got a recognize spell.
To recognize a spell, you need to find either the person doing it or you need to find remnants of it.
That's fine. Okay.
I will gesture to Morrigan and I would say, come on, we should probably keep up with everybody else. Think about, well, chew on whatever it is you noticed, and if you need to, ask me or Nicola. Maybe we know what could help.
I appreciate that. There's something here, and I swear I know what it is, but I can't bring it to my mind.
Something here?
She realizes she's falling behind and steps quickly to catch up with the others. What actually remains of the guard force notices the carriage of people coming in and try to rush towards the door. Our guys with society checks will auto pass this because it wouldn't be hard to recognize, and Lucius as well, having lived here before. If a group of random people just walk through the front door of a town without being cleared to go through, basically every available man and woman would be here to defend it, because who knows what in the hell that means. You guys are basically accosted by 2 guards, which is all they apparently have to spare to intercept 6 random foreigners walking in.
Okay.
And they are nervously got their hands on the hilts of their weapons, but not drawing them.
Just going to put my hands up. I just going to put
Same.
my hands up and says, "We mean no harm. We have just came about 40 miles down the road there from a recent tragedy that just happened at my friend's village. We have come to Redcliffe to seek some answers with what is going on, and if we can maybe help alleviate the situation."
You're not the help from the capital?
The capital help. Did you send for some?
Yeah, days ago. You're not it. And they
No.
look defeated.
How can I look at Lucius?
Why do you need help? What's going on here? There should be thousands of people here. It's in the middle of the day. What happened?
We don't really know what happened. They look apprehensive now because they see the confusion in your eyes. They are kind of looking at each other if they should speak to you or not.
If you tell us what's happened, then we can see if we are able to help you. Again, we have came here seeking answers ourselves, so this can be a mutual relationship that we have. We help you, and you can help us.
Give me a Diplo check.
I'm rolling all those 29s today, son.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, this is a good time to get good rolls. You don't want to fuck them up now. You know what? I don't know who you are, but you guys look armed and reasonably well trained. Just wait here a minute. I'll get the guard captain, okay?
Okay, sorry. I am Theodore Humphrey Farquhar von Drick. And this is Lucius Gallus. This is Evelyn. This is Nicola. The happy dwarf is Drastov, and this is Morrigan.
Restov is staying outside with Bill because he doesn't want to go in, I guess. Bill looks very apprehensive.
I do have this realization that maybe we should actually get Bill stabled.
Bill is a mule generally doesn't have a lot of emotion. They tend to just stand around bored. Bill is very, very nervous. He's kind of just like pacing around. He's sniffing at the air. Animals always kind of sense when something is wrong.
I am terrible with animals, or I would attempt an animal handling check to console the poor beast.
What would that fall under? Because there's not a handle animal check here. Would this be nature or?
You can try knowledge nature, or we can have our resident druid.
I was going to say, can I try and calm him down? Yeah.
You can try, yes. You roll a nature check. You approach Bill, and he is not meeting your eyes. You can sense that the animal is skittish about something, but you can't read what it is. But you put your hand up right under his eye, and you just gently run your other hand through his hair. And he looks at you, and he seems to calm down. He looks at all of you, and he keeps watching you all. He is shivering. Something has terrified him, but he's calmed down. One of the guards runs off after he said he was going to go get the captain for you. You guys sticking around?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he said he was going to get the captain. I would walk over to Morgan, though, and kind of connecting a dot in my head, I would ask Morgan, is what you felt on instinct just like something built up from your years living with your mom?
She has a strange look on her face as she looks at you. I do not understand your implication. However, I sense a great... What's the words for this? She's going to try another skill check. This is an occultism check. However, I don't see how Lucius would know it without being informed of it. If she can figure it out, then we can start getting Lucius in the skill check. Lucius is the only one with occultism?
I have occult.
You have it as well.
I actually have assurance occult. Not that it'd be very good right now, but...
Again, no one's aware of it but her right now. If she could just fucking pass and not roll a nat 4. There we go. Evelyn, she reaches to you with her left hand, just wanting you to hold her hand. I can't explain it, but I can show you.
I would bob my head to the side, and then I would say, I understand, and I would take her hand.
As soon as you hold onto her hand, suddenly the world goes black and white. You don't see color anymore. But you are looking around, and you can see all the visions you've had of the Fade every time you've been there before. The very strange colors, the cool air that suddenly becomes very hot, very wet. Physical reality doesn't apply well in the Fade, and you can feel it here. And as you are looking around, you can see shifts between the real world and the Fade, constantly ebbing back and forth. And then Morrigan lets you go. fate is very strong here.
What the?
Lucius, you kind of are reading the situation even though you didn't see it. The two of you with occultism may try an occultism.
So to make sure I understand assurance right, I would take the 6 from my current proficiency plus 10 to make it a 16.
You automatically get a 10.
Well, yeah, but it's 10 plus proficiency, but you don't add your
Yep.
modifier, so that would make it a 16 if I were to take use assurance here.
It's basically you don't roll. You just assume that your roll is automatically a 10.
You just crumb out the attribute modifier.
You
so
guarantee basically an average result rather than risk a good or bad one, which sometimes that's exactly what you want.
Well,
slightly
no,
not as great as normal because the attribute is removed, but better than rolling a natural one.
It is better than, risking fucking something up if you need it to work.
I about to say what Leon said is what I needed to know. I will go ahead and just use my assurance occultism for a passive 16.
Morgan is struggling to find an explanation for this, but you are starting to read it. Lucius is too distracted and doesn't know enough to make the connection here. Evelyn, you're going to take an auto 16.
Yes.
Let's get Morgan one more try, but she's going to get a -5 because she already failed. She is rolling like shit today.
Ouch.
Yeah, she rolled a 2, and then earlier she rolled a 4, and now she just rolled a 2. She is out of it today. Evelyn, you understand what Morgan was trying to show you, but she doesn't have an explanation for it. Perhaps her knowledge of these kinds of things isn't as good as you thought it to be. But you can see that the web is the fade is bleeding into the real world. And occurrences for this that you've read about and have seen, either the presence of immensely powerful spirits have come in here and are trying to bridge a gap between the two dimensions, which probably isn't what's going to happen here, because if that's true, they wouldn't be hiding their presence. There would probably be no one here. The other result is a great deal of death has happened here in a short time, which starts to blow the reality apart and allows evil spirits to start coming into the world. You surmise that a lot of people have died here very rapidly, and that's the cause.
I would, after realizing that, I would move to Theo and I would whisper to Morgan to affirm a lot of people have died here. And then I would move to Theo and Lucius, and I would whisper that to them as well, because I don't want to make it obvious I was able just to make that connection. The lines between the Fade and the real world are thin here. A lot of people have died for some reason.
Well, that would make sense the way that they're acting.
It could be that Revenant already attacked.
It makes sense why there's hardly anyone here as well.
Does anyone else want to do anything, or are we going to wait for the guard captain to arrive?
I'm going to look over with that little bit of information. I'm now highly concerned with what's going on at the keep, being that I've got a family member up there. Excuse me, guard?
Yeah?
Can you tell us what has the keep befallen attack as well, or is it just the city?
They again look very nervous to talk to you.
I actually step forward at this point, and I look at Lucius, and I look at Theo for slightly longer before giving him a nod, and I say, I'm a circle mage, and I could tell there was something wrong with the Fade here, and I just realized what it was. We don't mean any harm. We want to help.
My companion here has family in there, so I'm sure you can understand his his concern right now. He is only asking out of pure necessity as a son would his mother. That's the only reason he's asking. If you could but give us that information, we'd be very much appreciative of that.
As you are pleading with the very anxious guards, a younger-looking man in good-looking, well-taken-care-of equipment walks up.
Does he look better
He is
than me?
being escorted by 2 other guards.
Does he look better
Does he
than
look
me?
better than me?
Ask Avalon.
What is your charisma?
How does Avalon look at him? Does she like say, "Oh damn, he's hot," or it's okay?
I gotta look up your charisma.
My
What is
charisma is, I'll tell you. I think it's a 16.
Your charisma is
14,
a 14.
14, sorry, 14.
So his charisma is actually higher than you. So he does look slightly more attractive than you.
Oh no.
Guys, out of character, he's dead.
I think I can take this conversation from you guys. I appreciate it. And he waves the other guards away. And they return to their post.
I already don't like him just because of how clean he is compared to the situation for everybody else.
Yeah.
I
He
feel
sounds
hot.
like a massive prick.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for helping my ego out. I really appreciate it. That's why you guys are the best.
I mean, he is good.
Don't worry. We gotta represent for our group, for our clan.
He does look like a bit of a dick, but he is fucking good looking.
Shut up, Nick. Alright, I'll kill you. I'm not joking. Okay, I will give a courteous bow to the man and say I assume you are the guard captain.
I am, as well as the resident hero, unfortunately. I'm not very good at the hero thing. But that's what you guys are here for, right?
I mean, we can try. Yeah, we definitely try. Sorry, I'm at a disadvantage. I don't know your name. I am Theodore Humphrey Farquhar von Drac. What is yours?
He wakes up and gets ready to start shaking everyone's hand. Well met, everyone. And as
Do
he
I recognize
approaches
this guy?
and he's getting ready to shake Lucius's hand, he stops. And those of you who are wardens feel your skin tingle a little bit. That feeling when you encounter Darkspawn in the tower starts to return to you. And all of you lock eyes with this young man, and he seems to be doing the same to you. You guys are the wardens that got away, aren't you?
I sent you a fucking letter.
Time out. Quick question. Just from my history of being from Red Cliff, do I recognize this guy at all? Does he look familiar to me?
Let's get a wisdom.
Sorry, you got muffled for a second. Say it again.
Let's get a wisdom check. You can't tell yes or no if you've seen him before.
Okay.
He doesn't look familiar to you, but you can't tell if it's because you've forgotten it or he never was.
Theo.
Sorry, I don't. I'm. Are you new to being the captain? I don't recognize you.
Yeah, I'm a recent appointment just a couple weeks ago.
Theo was going to lean in and be like, either you've got a death wish or it's okay to say you're a warden here. Like, I would need to know this ASAP.
I look confused at your question.
Oh, the man's just came out and said you were the other wardens. We know what happened the last time when that was said. Some Templar.
Feel on the back of his, like on his back. We can feel him. He can feel us.
Whoa, Drastoff. I mean, Drastoff, whatever you're into, I suppose. But
I'm not being facetious or ironic. We can feel each other.
One day I'm going to get a laugh out of you.
Try harder. You're not funny.
Funny looking, but right, eh? Poke his belly.
I'm not into gay dancing boys.
I direct my attention towards the man, and I just give him a slight nod before I say, "Is that something that can openly be acknowledged here?"
Yes, news hasn't gone in and out of here in A tragically long time, it seems. I am Alistair Guerin. I am the guard captain here. Pleased to meet you all.
Wonderful. Did my letter reach you? Delivered by Crow, usually enchanted.
It did.
Congratulations. Then you are apprised of the situation.
Yeah. But you guys are not.
Yet we don't know what happened.
I can see the looks on the unregistered and the registered magi in the group. Morrigan doesn't look pleased with this.
Take what you can get.
So, you can tell that it's there's not a lot of people here. I imagine you figured that out.
Yeah, it wasn't. That wasn't that
Yeah,
hard.
there should be thousands.
There should have been. And there was, not long ago. The problem is, Arl Eamon invited everyone into the palace a little while ago, maybe 3 or 4 days ago. And they never, ever came back. And no explanation as to why. The drawbridge is still lowered. The gates are unguarded. Just, we've had no word. We've had people go out to the cliff that's nearby and just shout at the castle. No one said anything. We've thrown messages over there. We've thrown spells. Just, the place is entirely silent. The Arl, his wife, the handmaidens, all the people that went in there are just gone.
No.
And unfortunately, instead, we have been getting nightly attacks from the undead raids that I imagine you encountered on your way here.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So this is all that remains. We used to have a population of about 6,000 people here. About half of that went into the castle. Another half ran away. As of 5 days ago, I had maybe 500 people here. I have maybe 200. So yeah, we're all enjoying getting fucked over and over. So welcome to the party. We sent word last week for help because the Arl had gone sick.
Good luck. Good luck. There's a bit of a succession crisis, I'm afraid. I'm sure the nobles are currently tearing into each other.
Yeah, I've heard that you guys apparently murdered the king. That's an accomplishment. Take pride in that one.
I'm sorry, I don't kill human kings. That seems like a terribly counterproductive thing to the whole warden business.
Believe me, I didn't buy it.
So
Yeah, but enough people did.
Logan McTeer is now trying to solidify himself on throne. So it was a power play.
Trust me, I wish I could be happy about it. But the fact that he pointed the fingers at us, if nothing else, I could appreciate that at least someone is in charge instead of the entire country falling into civil war over who's running the show. But for him to point the fingers at us and say it's our fault, no, that's just not cool. That was pretty dickish. It'd be too easy to blame the Darkspawn, but he wanted to blame the Grey Warden. Easy out, and he did a cell phone.
How many wardens were at the Battle of Ostica?
Just you guys and Duncan, who is not here with you.
Duncan wanted to inform the people at Orlais later down the line, and I think that's one of the things that should be accomplished at some point, because, yeah, the Chantry and the Orlesians are not going to take kindly to the Wardens being accused. Say what you want, but the politics have the Wardens on the Orlesian side of nationalism, from what I remember.
Duncan wanted to tell the Orlesians.
I mean, if it's a true blight.
So is he in Orlais? His jovial mood seems to have suddenly gone away.
He went to fight along the king's side, and we know what happened to the king. I don't know where his body is. I wanted to recover it, but I wasn't suicidal enough to go into Ostigard. So as much as I owe the man, I don't know what happened to him. But if he hasn't found us yet, he's either dead or has escaped, but I don't know where he would be.
Oh God.
The sad one in a million is that the king and Duncan could still be alive, but it's about as likely as you can probably imagine.
Oh no, fuck.
Yeah, congratulations. You're the oldest warden around.
Oh
Enjoy
God,
your
we're
retirement.
doomed. We are so
Enjoy your
doomed if I'm the one running the
nice,
show.
Commander.
Fuck, this was not what I signed up for. I've
Well,
only been
sucks to
maybe a
be-
month longer than any of you. Oh, fuck.
Wait. Am I seriously the one with the most seniority? Because I got my wardening down in the deep roads.
Hasn't been
Oh,
that
God
long.
damn it.
No,
I
you've been out of the deep road for about 2 to 3 weeks. Alistair
Yeah,
maybe
so-
has 3 weeks of seniority over you.
Yes, I can blame it on him.
We're all rookies.
Oh god.
Oh my. So this just got more complicated and a
Okay.
lot more
Yeah.
depressing.
Okay. All right. We've got to stop this. We're worrying too much. This is too much emotions. This is not science. So
The
here's
guy
what we
that
have to
tried
do.
to
We have to
burn down
stabilize the
the town.
situation. How do we stabilize the situation here? That's step one.
Were you the guy who tried to burn down the town?
I did not. That was
So it was you.
he did not follow the instructions I gave him when he purchased those supplies. If he had followed the instructions, he would actually have done something worse. So him blowing himself up with his own fault, and it was a good thing. That's beside the point. That's not right now. And
It was you, wasn't
too
it?
much.
Right,
No,
so-
I did not.
So, right, let's get this under control. You're
So
getting you're getting nightly attacks. How
here's
many?
the relevant info. We've been getting raided on the nightly. It happens about 3 in the morning, just before dawn. They come in here and they do whatever they're going to do. They cut down dozens of people every night. And they disintegrate as the dawn comes. As soon as the sunlight comes out, they're all gone. But they keep coming back and they come out of the castle. So I don't know what's going on in there. No one has any clue what's happening, other than we got word that Arleman was bedridden with something serious maybe a week ago. And we went out to ask for help to skit for a healer, which, as far as I'm aware, never came. And then all this stuff started happening after a great deal of the population was pulled inside the castle. I'm afraid that's all I know at this point. I haven't had enough manpower to try to force our way inside. We're trying to protect what little we have at this point.
Okay.
Point of order.
But with you guys here, maybe we can actually do a decent job defending what's left instead of putting civilians with sticks out to defend themselves. We got some actual training here.
Point of order. What so they're all coming from the castle.
They come
Through
over the land bridge from the castle, it sure looks like.
Okay. Maybe this is a little rash, but given the situation, why don't we
burn it?
Just blow it up. They can't get to us, right?
I really was saying that as a point of humor, but you're serious? You want to burn the castle down?
No, the drawbridge.
Oh, well, yeah, probably, but then how do we get there?
Right,
Isn't
so
there usually some kind of exit route?
I think the best course of action is, and what Alistair's trying to hint at, they attack at 3 AM. Let us prepare for this nightly attack. After we deal with this attack, we then counter-attack. We need to get everyone on board. So, how many man-at-arms, knights, militia, pikemen, archers, what have you got?
Of people that are well-trained and well-equipped, I have maybe a dozen. For those that are partially equipped and partially trained, a few dozen more. And if we have to, we can start conscripting what's left of the populace.
Okay.
They're gonna die anyway.
So, from the populace, what I would say is, where are they now? Where's everyone in the populace or the civilians?
Most of the people that are left have been hiding in their homes, trying to avoid being conscripted.
Cool. Is there any way passively we can go around and getting them to come at the town square or some way we can get everyone to collectively meet?
We can get everyone out here, absolutely.
Right.
You just need me to give me some time to get the word out.
Cool. So I think this is the best plan. What we do, we address the population. We, if need be, and I don't like saying it, but if need be, we forcibly make the men armor up and the females and the children hide somewhere safe and secure. We're going to need every able body we can to fight this. Unfortunately,
Those that are unable to defend themselves, those that are too old, too weak, or too young, we've been locking them up in the church at night. It's the most reasonably defended area we have.
Cool. Now,
That's where we can make our stand.
yeah, we can make
It's a good fallback point, but I hope it never comes to that.
We can make a stand. We don't want to make the stand at the church because we don't want to give too much ground up that they're right at the church, and if we fail, that's us. We're done. We're going to want to use the drawbridge. I imagine the drawbridge, does it have one pathway that comes down to this village?
I see there's a tactician in the group. So, if we scroll up on the map, if you guys look to the top of the map, you'll see that there is a gate up here, is a smaller gate. And then there's a much larger gate on this side. As we're going to go over what's happened, and the attacks have mostly come from this gate because it's got the most passage through it. That is a direct line towards the castle. The smaller gate up here, there have been attacks through it in smaller numbers because there's less place to go through it. And trying to come to that requires a very harsh overland route around the rocky areas to get to it. So they have come through there, but much less. Your primary attack or primary defend point is up here. Our last bastion of defense is the chapel, which is this bright red building here. If this falls, the city is fucked.
Okay.
So this is our last stand.
How many people do we have here, other than warriors, that can be useful towards us?
If you want to, we'll go over like the real logistics of setting this up when you guys are ready to do this. You'll have all the planning time you need. But the available resources you have yourself and you have Alistair. Alistair is very well trained, so he's certainly on board to be part of this. For the remainder of the guard, you have 14 people that are equipped with short swords and longbows, so they can be used for either role. You have the what's left of the militia, which is another 9 people that are armed with light shields and spears. And if it comes down to it, you have the civilian populace, which don't have equipment other than what you guys can procure, which would be another 24 people. At that point, these are people that are not trained, not equipped, and don't have the morale to fight. Past that point, you have maybe 30 people that cannot defend themselves that are locked inside the church.
Okay.
You guys have whatever time you need to plan this out.
Is there any raw materials? I don't need much in the way of wealth, but if you have widgets, singes, or anything metallic or wooden, I can make traps.
What about
Anything that's useless and lying around, and I'll turn it into something deadly.
Sadly, the blacksmith was one of the people that died in the first night, so his shop is open. I would ask that you be on your honor to not steal anything, but I understand if it needs to be used, it needs to be used.
I'm not stealing, I'm making sure people stay alive.
I get it.
Besides, I'm already in full plate, I don't need anything else.
Yeah, you look pretty well prepared. We'll just throw you at the castle.
I'm sure that'll work until I get surrounded and mauled to death in, like, give me 2 minutes.
Drastov, Lucius, is there any way you can combine Lucius's alchemical weapons with your traps?
risky shit. That's advanced triggers. I'm studying it, but I've never worked with that sort of shit before.
I've got
Can
some.
try.
I've got a
No
couple
risk.
barrels of oil that no one's used.
Lucius, I'm sure you can do something with that. Even Drastov as well.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, the
Ooh.
shop. I already bought them. We got 2 barrels of oil, rather flammable. I knew we would use it.
Cool. Okay.
I've got an idea.
Right. So, me and Drastov, we're going to go to the armory.
Mm.
We're going to scour there for any resources. Alistair, is there anywhere else you would suggest going that could be useful to us in regards to tonight's attack?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is there anyone else here that can be useful in regards to giving us resources for tonight's attack?
Most of the houses, what's left that can be appropriated for the defense output has already been done. We have gathered everything that we can find useful. It's been thrown in the market square since no one's buying anything anyway. So I guess you can pick through whatever's there. If you want to go around and maybe make some friends and learn something, I can't stop you. We got several hours before we got to start worrying about it. As a note, it's about 2 in the afternoon, so you guys have plenty of time to do whatever it is you're going to do.
Okay.
Morrigan. Well, I'm actually going to... Sorry, I need to speak to Alistair first.
There you go.
What... Well, no, I don't mean to interrupt you. That was... Never mind.
No, on you go. On you go.
These two buildings here. How essential are these two buildings?
What are you doing? Oh, over there.
In the top left. The ones by the small gate.
They are non-essential and have already been destroyed in the last attack.
Okay. That makes things a little easier. We could use... So we can simply just block up that entrance before the evening using the spare rubble from those buildings. And then I look at Morgan and Nicola and I say, and I think it's possible that between the three of us, we could... Then I bite my tongue and I say, between the two of you, that you'd be able to actually level more buildings to create more obstructions if absolutely necessary before the evening.
Are you encouraging me to break things?
You know I like blowing stuff up.
I cock my head to the side and I say, as long as there aren't people in the buildings, it's better than not having that area impassable.
I wouldn't hurt a fly. Ever.
I'll blow anything up. Just tell me.
Not a fly, but what about people?
If they deserved it.
People worry about me burning things down.
I think...
Because you already did.
I did not? This is so good.
I think what we wanted...
If you'll excuse me, time to start working.
Before you go, Drastoff, I think what we want to do, if we can obviously stack top left here with any rubble, bricks, anything we can find. If we can just collapse that entrance on itself, then fantastic. I wouldn't say collapse any other buildings because we can use them as natural barricades just in case they do breach the gates, but we can funnel them in to the town centre themselves. We probably want to use some of the houses.
We should probably collapse those two. Like, seriously, if the chapel's our last point of defense, I'm going to mark them. I'll draw on it. This one here,
okay,
and this one here, and possibly this one here. So basically, we have rubble all across this area, so they can't take the short route to the chapel if they somehow come from here.
I mean, you can just walk over rubble.
Which is yeah, but it'll buy us time, difficult terrain, and all that.
I mean, the house staying there will just do the exact same. So that's my point. Like, having the houses staying up and erect will actually probably be more of a benefit rather than just putting it down in rubble, because they'll just walk over that. This is why we want to use that to the advantage, and then have them funnel. If they do get in, have it be funneled towards the town centre. So if we can create barricades out of any of the spare wood, rubble, stone, and try and funnel them towards here, so they do only have one direction to come towards us.
Actually, that's a question. Did they ever actually attack from the gate we are currently at?
No.
Well, then
that is not the
gate in
direction of the
particular.
castle.
Then fuck that gate in particular.
It is possible that they can use it because they could just ignore the door that you're defending and then go around the walls to attack from that. So it is possible that they can use it, but it hasn't happened.
So basically, keep like 1 or 2 people there to yell in case they do something.
Yeah, we can just
make it 2 so there's redundancy.
We can barricade that. We can easily just station someone here who's a non-essential fighter. If they see anything that comes through here, they come and alert us and we react to it. Unfortunately, we don't have the advantage of being proactive. We're going to be very much reactive towards this. So yeah, me and Drastov go towards the blacksmith. See what we can do.
Yep.
Hey, On the way there, or when you get there, can you take a look for a small crossbow I could use? Maybe, it sounds like there's a lot of them, and I might run out of supplies.
Sure thing.
Just
Lucius,
a quick question: is there a local herbalist or anything that I can pick about? Because that's what I do, and I can make some potential healing potions on it. That might come in handy.
We did not have a local healer here, but there was a botany shop. Maybe you can find what you need.
Perfect.
All right.
Avalon,
Well, yes.
if you could go around and try and encourage the people with Alistair to come out and go towards the town centre so we can address them.
Yeah,
That's
I
okay.
can do that.
That's okay, please. If you have anything else to do, I'm not saying like you have to solely do this. I'm just saying that will probably be the best thing to do at this point in time.
No, it's actually nice to have something to do. You all pretty much can do everything to help the situation that I can't. So.
And I will head off with Drastoff towards the blacksmith. Wherever that is, I don't know.
Right, where the fuck is it? Alistair, point me in the direction so I can make murder traps.